The Liberals are robbing from conservation to pay for their pet political causes. Liberal environmentalism means stealing from the ducks to pay for Catherine McKenna's glamour photography. It's another day, and so that means it's another day that Justin Trudeau and his Liberals are spending, attacking hunters, law-abiding gun owners, and rural folks who just like to be outside. This time the Liberals are emptying the coffers meant for real conservation so that they can spend it on their own political agendas. Here's what's happening this time. The Liberals are turning migratory bird hunting stamps into a money grab that they can do whatever they want with. First off, the Liberals are hiking the fees. Right now, the combined permanent stamp fee costs $17. By 2020, that fee will go up to $28, which I don't like, but I can still begrudgingly live with as long as the money goes to keeping Canada wild and free. Oh, but the money isn't going to do that. Up until now, the money that went from that license was equally split between the federal government and actual conservation activities. Half of the money went to Environment and Climate Change Canada, and the other half went to Wildlife Habitat Canada, which makes sense. The bureaucracy is the administration of the licensing, and the Wildlife Habitat Canada Fund is actual conservation. Fine. Hunters and anglers have self-funded the management of their own activity. It was, up until now, actually a pretty good system as far as anything the government gets its filthy hands involved. But not anymore. According to the Conservative Hunting and Angling Caucus, which is a group of Conservative members of Parliament who focus on conservation and the rights of hunters and anglers, the money from the migratory bird licenses will now be earmarked a completely different way under new federal rules. Under the new rules, the hunting license money will be weighted in favor of Environment and Climate Change Canada. So now the money from hunting licenses can be spent on such valuable environmental initiatives as the neglected and unused e-car chargers that are collecting dust down at one of Catherine McKenna's ministry's offices. And of course, flying Catherine McKenna to the carbon-belching communist nation of China to encourage us all to have a little visit there. According to the government's very own data, by 2020, these fee increases will generate an annual increased revenue of nearly $1 million for Wildlife Habitat Canada. So that's good. And another $1.6 million for Environment and Climate Change Canada. And we all know what sort of nonsense Catherine McKenna will spend that additional money on. For a bunch of people who call themselves environmentalists, the Liberals sure don't seem to care about actual preservation of the environment. They seem to really only care about the environment when it comes to taxes and raising fees, using the environment as their excuse to do it. The Liberals actually just defunded the National Wetland Conservation Fund, which used to restore degraded or lost wetlands. For all the things the Liberals managed to spend our money on in the name of the environment, they cut funding to a program that actually scientifically assesses and monitors the functions of wetlands and repairs them for the use of future generations. But I suppose there were no social justice or gender quotas to be met there, trudging around on the wetlands, just regular old habitat protection. So that program got the axe. But I'm absolutely convinced that if there were some sort of endangered swamp or wetland in Mali or Somalia, you just know those Liberals would be hauling out the big novelty checkbook to hand one over for that. But those cagey Liberals, they weighed the political fallout, perhaps because they know that they stand to lose nearly nothing by picking the pockets of hunters and conservationists who generally don't vote Liberal, and they cut programs designed to actually do something to protect the environment. And I'm old enough to remember when environmentalists actually cared about ducks. Well, they probably only cared about those ducks insofar as that they could use them as a weapon against an oil sands company a few years ago. Look, even if you aren't a duck hunter, and really, frankly, I'm not, I could take it or I could leave it. And even if you think the wetlands are just some sort of big mosquito factory, and even if you wish those frogs would just shut up when you're trying to sleep, surely, we can all agree that the Liberals turning a self-sustaining, self-funding Canadian heritage activity into what seems like a cash grab for them and their pals is a terrible idea. The Liberals saw a group of people just minding their own business, paying their own way, and managing their own sustainable activity, and the Liberals decided to fix what wasn't even broken. But I suppose someone has to pay for Environment Minister Catherine McKenna's globe-trotting, glamour photography, and her staff of 20-plus tweeters. And I guess today, those people are waterfowlers. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. What you just saw there was my daily commentary video that I do here at The Rebel, but did you know that I have my own full-length show? It's, of course, called The Gun Show, and we talk about issues facing Canadian families. To get access to my show and the rest of our amazing premium content, become a Rebel subscriber today.